A grown man, twice my age, on the verge of tears.
Because a customer has spent 2 solid hours tormenting him during his first solo shift. But here's the thing she didn't know. She wasn't just any customer. She was about to learn the hardest lesson of her career. And I was about to make sure her ears rang for days. If you live for those moments when bullies get exactly what they deserve, smash that subscribe button right now. Hit like on this video because you're about to witness one of the most satisfying takedowns in restaurant history. Drop a comment with your own revenge story. Now, let's get into this. Main narrative, 6 to 13 minutes. Back in 2015, I was grinding through nursing school, working nights as a server at this incredible restaurant. And when I say incredible, I mean the kind of place that didn't need to advertise, ever. Their entire business model ran on word of mouth. People told their friends told their friends, and the cycle continued. This detail, it's going to matter more than you can imagine. I'd been there several months by this point, long enough that management trusted me to help train new servers. I wasn't officially a trainer, but I was the safety net, the person who'd watch over the newbies once they got their own sections, ready to jump in when the dinner rush turned into chaos. We had this new guy who'd just finished his formal training. Older gentleman, probably in his 50s, a complete opposite of your typical cocky new server. He was nervous, careful, constantly worried about making mistakes. But you know what? That made him great to work with. He genuinely cared about doing things right. Tonight was his trial by fire, his first shift with a complete section, all his own tables, no trainer shadowing him. I was stationed right next to his section, close enough to keep watch, close enough to help if things went sideways. And trust me, I knew they would. First nights always do. Everything started normally enough. A few tables, some regulars, nothing he couldn't handle with a bit of nervousness. Then they walked in. 6 people, all in their 20s, radiating that particular brand of entitlement that makes every server's heart sink. They got seated in his section, and I could already see the anxiety creeping into his movements. Not even 5 minutes after they sat down, he came rushing over to me, confusion written all over his face. "They're asking for something that I don't think is on our menu," he said, voice low and uncertain. "She says we have all the ingredients, that we should just make it. Claims the other location makes it for her all the time." Now, I could have used this as a teaching moment, could have told him to politely stand his ground, explain our menu policy. But looking at his face, seeing the panic already setting in on his first real night, this wasn't the time for tough love. "Ask the line cooks if they're willing to make it," I told him. "If they say no, I'll handle the table." He disappeared into the kitchen, came back with cautious relief. The cooks were fine with it, basically just a wrap or something, nothing complicated. Problem solved, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. Because apparently that one successful special request was this woman's signal to absolutely unleash. Every single time he went to that table, she needed something else. Brought the water, now she needs extra napkins. Brought the napkins, actually she wants a different sauce. Brought the sauce, can he check if the kitchen can modify another dish? I watched this pattern develop, watched him start to drown. His shoulders got tighter with each trip, his smile more strained. So I started doing what I was there for, checking on his other tables, weaving them into my own rotation, making sure none of his other guests suffered while this one table consumed all his energy. The woman at the head of that table, let's call her the leader because that's exactly how she acted, she had him running in circles. Zero appreciation, zero kindness, just constant demands with this undercurrent of impatience, like he was personally inconveniencing her by reading her mind. I caught him in the back during a rare break, saw his hands shaking slightly as he entered orders into the computer. "Hey," I said gently, "heads up, they might stiff you on the tip. Don't let it shake you. I'm not touching anything from your other tables. Those tips are all yours." He nodded, but I could see it in his eyes. This wasn't about the money. This man looked like he was ready to walk out and never come back, and the night wasn't even over yet. The table had come in late, close to closing time, and they were taking their sweet time. They ended up being the last table on our side of the restaurant. I'd already been cut early, one of the perks of closing with a new server, so I was just hanging around, keeping him company, offering moral support. That's when he approached me with a question that changed everything. "How do I apply an employee discount? And can I use more than one on a single check?" I stopped. "Wait, employee discount? Someone at that table works here?" The look on his face when he nodded was pure exhaustion mixed with something darker, humiliation. "She's been telling me all night," he said quietly, "that she's a trainer at our other location. She's been making fun of me, saying I'm the worst waiter she's ever seen. That's why she knew about the menu item from earlier." My blood didn't just boil, it went nuclear. This entire time, while he'd been running himself ragged trying to please her, she'd been psychologically torturing him, not just demanding service, but actively mocking his performance while knowing exactly how stressful a first night could be. She was a trainer. She knew what he was going through, and she turned it into her personal entertainment. "Oh," and he added, voice barely above a whisper, "she's claiming there are multiple birthdays at the table, wants free cakes for everyone, and the birthday song, right now." Something inside me clicked into place. Not anger anymore, calculation. "Start prepping the cakes," I told him, keeping my voice steady. "Don't bring them out yet. I need to talk to the boss about those employee discounts, and I need to gather people for the birthday song." See, technically, we could process employee discounts ourselves, but this situation, this required management. This required someone with the power to make phone calls. I found our front-end manager and gave him the rapid-fire version of what had been happening. His expression shifted from concerned to absolutely livid in about 3 seconds. "She's our employee," he said. "Treating someone like this while representing our restaurant?" This is where that word-of-mouth reputation becomes critical. Our restaurant's entire brand was built on experience, on how people felt when they left. Having one of our own employees creating this kind of toxic situation, even at a different location, unacceptable. I laid out my plan, and then he smiled. That particular smile that meant someone was about to learn a very hard lesson. "Do it," he said, "and give me those employee numbers. I have some calls to make." While he headed to the office, I went on a recruiting mission. I grabbed every single employee I could find, servers, bussers, posts, even one of our dishwashers. The restaurant was half closed by now, so we had plenty of people available. I gave each of them the world's fastest briefing. Table of 6 in the corner. Woman's been psychologically torturing our new guy all night. She's a trainer from our other location. She wants the birthday song. We're going to give her the birthday song. The grins that spread across their faces were absolutely beautiful. I went back to the new server, who looked like he might actually pass out from stress. "We're ready," I told him. "Let's drop those cakes." What arrived at that 6-person table was probably the largest birthday song crowd our restaurant had ever assembled. We placed free cakes in front of every single seat. The leader had this incredibly smug, self-satisfied smirk on her face, like she'd just won some kind of game. We all lined up, grinned at each other, and then we sang. But we didn't just sing, we screamed. Imagine the loudest birthday song you've ever heard, then multiply it by about 15 people in a corner section where the sound bounces off the walls. Imagine that song being our restaurant's special version, which is excruciatingly, painfully long.
Their smiles evaporated instantly. Hands shot up to cover ears. They physically jumped from the sheer volume of our coordinated audio assault. And we did not stop. We sang that entire song at maximum volume, letting it echo off that corner, letting it drill into their skulls, watching them wince and grimace and realize they had absolutely no escape. My ears hurt, my throat hurt, and every second of that pain made me smile. But the real revenge, that was happening in the office. While we'd been gathering our choir and destroying eardrums, our boss had been on the phone. He'd called the other location's manager directly, explained the situation in detail, shared exactly how one of their trainers had behaved while wearing the company name. By the time we finished our performance, the general manager, one step below the owner in our small company, had already been looped in. I was standing at the host desk when my manager handed the leader his phone. "It's for you," he said simply. I watched her face change, watched confusion turn to concern, turn to panic. Her voice got higher, more desperate. She started making excuses, explaining why it wasn't that bad, why she shouldn't be punished. Then came the tears. "Please," she was saying, "please don't fire me. I didn't mean..." But her employee number had already been shared up the chain. The decision had already been made. She didn't get her stacked employee discounts. She didn't get any discount at all. She got to pay full price for her meal and her employment. The table left in complete silence. No more demands, no more smugness. Just 6 people who'd stayed past closing, gotten the world's loudest birthday song, and watched one of their group get fired in real time. Our new server, he was shaking, but this time from relief, maybe even a little bit of vindication. He looked at me with this expression of disbelief, like he couldn't quite process what had just happened. "Did we really just..." he started. "Yes," I told him. "Yes, we did." I can't say with absolute certainty that she never worked in restaurants again. Maybe she convinced someone at her original location to rehire her. Anything's possible. But I know how she treated that gentleman who just wanted to do a good job. I know the quiet, controlled rage in my manager's voice when he made those calls. I know the look on the general manager's face when he heard what one of his trainers had done. And I know deep in my soul that the screaming birthday song was just the opening act to a much more permanent consequence.
Sometimes revenge isn't about getting even. It's about making sure someone learns that cruelty has consequences, that using your position to torment others will eventually catch up to you. And sometimes justice sounds like 15 people screaming a birthday song in a corner booth. If this story hit the spot, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of perfectly executed revenge. Drop a comment telling me, what's the most satisfying moment of justice you've ever witnessed? Share this with someone who's ever worked in food service. They'll understand. Until next time, remember, karma might be slow, but when it arrives, it brings backup singers.